Hello and welcome to another edition of the Paul's Body Engineering Podcast. I hope you are doing well and thank you once again for tuning in. I probably don't thank people enough because I know there is plenty of listeners out there that do tune in when these episodes pop up. I must admit it's been a couple of weeks since I did my last one, but I do appreciate people listening. Like at the end of the day, I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it to share information, education and knowledge, and obviously help people make clearer decisions about their own health and fitness path, whatever that looks like. So hopefully today's episode is no different and you can get a little bit of information, because every time you pull 1% from somewhere that is true, research-based, it's factual, it suits your lifestyle, then you're going to make an improvement. It's as simple as that. So this week's topic kind of touches on a couple that I've done previously, and that's about repetitious behaviour in the things that you do to find success. And I did a post up that actually hasn't come out yet, but it will be out very, very shortly. And it's about, what you admire in people that look really good. And what I mean by that is, like, if you were in the gym and you saw, I'll talk from a male perspective because I think that's easier for me. You see a really strong, fit guy, like someone who's not overly jacked, but just a fit-looking guy that looks like he looks after himself. He trains really hard. If you went up to that person and asked them, what are they eating tomorrow? Like, legitimately ask them. I know it's a random question, but if you ask them that question, I bet you 99% of the time they could tell you what they're eating tomorrow. Same thing in regards to their training. If you said, okay, well, what does your training look like for the next 5 days? I guarantee you they would be able to tell you the specifics of the training. Not just, I'm going to train some chest and some legs or whatever. No, they will know sets, reps. They will know exercise selection. They will know whether they're in deload, whether they're trying to hit some PBs. They will know it all. It's already planned. And the reason it's already planned is because systematically, that's how they've gotten to how they look. That's why they look so great, is because their food, their nutrition, their training, it's all pre-planned, it's all pre-organised, and there is a repetitious behaviour to it. People who achieve great results, they don't wake up every morning and hope they make good decisions. They have a system that reduces the number of unnecessary decisions they need to make throughout the week. Food is planned, training is planned, sleep has boundaries, and recovery is always treated with priority. So that's why they have success. We often underrate sleeping, undervalue sleeping, and I've spoken about that on a separate podcast as well. But when you combine fantastic sleep with awesome training, with really dialed in nutrition, and with prioritized recovery, guess what? You're going to make some serious headway into your own goals. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't mean that you have to follow a routine ridiculously religiously, like super, super rigid. That's not what I'm saying here. It's that you have to be consistent. You have to follow an approach that is consistent and can be relatively accurate with consistency within it. Great plans are planned. Great results are planned, I should say. Great results will always be planned, and you can put that across anything. If someone has success in business, I guarantee you a lot of it has come off really good planning. If someone wins the NRL Premiership, chances are they've planned everything down to a T, particularly in those final weeks of competition. Someone wins a gold medal in the Olympics, same situation. They're in the position to win it because they've been planning and planning and planning. And there's no reason why you can't adapt and apply those sorts of philosophies into everyday life. Sure, most of us are not at an elite level and professional in that endeavour, but we can still take a lot of those attributes and a lot of those skill sets and apply them to our training, to our nutrition, to our lifestyle, and seek improvement. Even with that in mind, plans will still change. Meals will still get moved around. You might have to unexpectedly go to a meeting that goes over your lunch. So chances are you're going to need to eat, right? Things like that will always happen, and that's okay. Training has to get swapped around some days. You might be sick. Like yesterday, for example, I had to go to a funeral, so my training was impacted by that. That's okay. It is what it is. We move on. But a good plan allows for flexibility because it needs to work in real life. At the end of the day, we're not robots. We need to work in real life, and real life has tangents. We have to pivot. It has unforeseen circumstances pop up. That is real life, and that is okay. But adjusting a plan is very different from never having one in the first place. And I love that line. That is fantastic because it is very, very true. You can adjust a plan. You can change a plan. You can make a plan suit your lifestyle. But if you don't have a plan, well, guess what? You've got nothing to follow. So without a plan, every meal, training session becomes another decision. That makes it easier to skip sessions. You can choose whatever food is convenient, basically, or lose track of the habits supporting your goals. And that's the thing. You can waver so much that you forget what you were doing in the first place. You do not need to execute perfectly. Like, that's a key. There's no need to be perfect. I'm struggling with the wording here. There's no need to be perfect. There's no need for perfection. You just need something you can follow 80 to 90% of the time for a long time. And that's the other key. That is the key phrase right there, for a long time. You've got to be able to stick to something for a period of time. Like, I've had clients sign on because they've seen all the great results I get. They want the same thing, and then after 4 weeks they're questioning everything, and they realise the level of commitment that's required, they realise the dedication, they realise what investment they need to make, and they're not prepared to do it. They're not prepared to stick at it for 6 months, 12 months to get these results. And then they go off and do their own thing again. I guarantee you 99% of those people are still chasing their goals because they haven't stuck to something consistently for a long time. Great results do not come from waking up each day and guessing, okay? They come from knowing what you need to do, having structure that supports it, and doing it consistently. No guessing, tracking, training, programming, planning, scheduling. All of these buzzwords are relevant in this situation. Before this weekend, plan your training sessions, organise your main meals, set clear boundaries around your sleep. I have this conversation a lot about sleep. A lot of people, and I from time to time will do it myself, so I put my hand up and acknowledge it. I'll get on my phone in bed. And it's such a bad habit because the next thing you know, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour's gone by, you don't know where that time's gone, you're tighter, you regret it the next morning when you wake up, and for no particular reason. It's completely unproductive time. But it also hinders your ability to progress, to repair, to recover, to give yourself the best night's sleep possible so that you can wake up fully refreshed, fully repaired, and ready to tackle whatever's thrown at you the next day. So we want to make sure that sleep has boundaries. Sleep needs boundaries. Sleep is prioritised. Sleep is not undervalued. Oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. No. You can, you can, but you've got another 50, 60, 70 years in front of you before that potentially happens. So why not make the most of what's in front of you now? Every day is going to go by whether you like it or not. So you might as well dive in a little bit deeper and make some bigger commitments. By adjusting a plan, as I said, is very different from never having one in the first place. And that is really important. So if anyone is listening to this and doesn't have a plan that they're following, and not just something you've bought off the internet, not just something that has been downloaded or you bought for $9.95, a cheat sheet or some rubbish like that, that's not going to get you anywhere. Honestly, it needs to be customized, because I guarantee you, your lifestyle is very, very different to the person next to you in the gym, also training, okay? And I guarantee you their lifestyle is very different to the person next to them in the gym training. So why should you have something that has an umbrella across everybody? It's not going to be beneficial. You might get a short-term fix, you might learn a few little things, but long-term, it's not going to be beneficial. You're not going to get the progress and the traction that you need in order to find long-term sustainable success, whether it be weight loss, fat loss, body recomposition, bodybuilding, strength training, strength improvement, bone density improvement, or just feeling awesome. Like, who wouldn't want to wake up feeling awesome? High energy, strong, confident, their clothes fit comfortably. They walk into a room and it lights up because people acknowledge that they look great. That's where everyone should be, but unfortunately we're not. And the reason we're not is we're not following a plan. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to keep this short. I think a plan will be successful for everybody if you truly implement it. And obviously a lot of people turn up their nose at the cost of a plan. I get it. Money's tight at the moment, but have a look at your budget. Have a look at your week. Where is your money going? The takeout here, the Netflix there, the KO subscription here, the incidental expenses on coffees and lotto tickets and all these sorts of things. You'd be surprised how quickly that all adds up when you could reinvest it into yourself and turn things around. It is now 4.5 months until the end of the year. 4.5 months until 2026 is over, never to be repeated again. That's approximately 18 weeks. In 18 weeks' time, you can be amazing, you can be strong, you can be fit, you can look killer on the beach in a bikini or in a swimsuit or in togs, in Speedos, whatever you want to do, or you can look the same or potentially worse. Choice is yours. All right, I'll leave you there. Thank you once again for tuning in. This is a short and sharp one, but I reckon this is one of the better ones I've done for sure. I love this topic. So thank you once again. If you are interested in any of my coaching services, even if you just want to reach out and have a chat, by all means, send me a DM on Instagram, jump on paulsbodyengineering.com, go to the Contact Us page, and I'll certainly respond very, very quickly to any inquiry that may come through. I'm very good at doing that. And it's me. It's not a bot. It's not a minion. It's me every single time. But in the meantime, as I say to every client every single day, have a great day.